Feel like I've wanted to make this video for a long time now, um, because I've always had this fixation on the idea of being yourself so unequivocally and so unapologetically, with complete disregard to your outside environment and how people are going to react to you. And I think that's just a well-known thing already, that accepting who you are and outwardly projecting it without a single care in the world is kind of a self-empowerment thing, or it's a power move, or it's something to do to make yourself feel better. And I think it can go be a lot deeper than that. I think there are a lot of things to consider when finding yourself and making sure that the you that you identify with and your own personality that you kind of internalize is actually a product of your own goals and beliefs, rather than something set upon you from your environment and from your external world. And I really want to talk about this. I have a lot of pointers to go through because I've always had this in my head. First of all, I think it can be generally said that it's easier for human beings to find problems than to fix problems. And with that being said, everyone around you will have an easier time finding problems about you than they will to try and help you, especially in an environment where you don't know anybody or you don't know people properly. If you don't know people well enough, they're very easy to judge, and it's only dependent upon how much they show it. But we all judge loudly or quietly, and people can find problems in people whenever someone misaligns with their own beliefs or someone kind of counters them in some certain way. There's just this in primal instinct to kind of look out for that person because they don't agree with you. And in that same sense, because all of us humans are just trying to protect ourselves, we're trying to protect ourselves from other people. People get defensive. People criticize other people for things that they don't agree with. And this is a normal thing. But I think when I acknowledge that, I just realized that people have their own problems and they outwardly project their own problems onto other people. So when someone judges you for the way that you dress, oftentimes they're insecure in their own way of dressing, or they're insecure about something that you have that they don't. And oftentimes it is their problem that they project onto you rather than you having the problem yourself. So I think you need to adopt this belief of their problem, your liberation, where you kind of acknowledge that most of the time people don't have anything to do with you other than the problems that they already have. And we have a million problems, human beings. We have a million individual problems that we don't even know. That you could be judging someone, even you could be judging someone for something that you have unresolved within your own character. And with that being said, I feel like I just detach people from their own judgments, and I detach the people themselves from the emotions that they're portraying, because emotions can be shallow, they can be deep, and you can't really tell unless you know the person. But they could be expressing something that is completely irrelevant to the way that they are. So I think, first of all, disassociating someone with their own thoughts and judgments upon you, and kind of accepting that no matter how much people throw at you, if people judge you, make fun of you, or criticize you, that does not affect you in a real sense, other than that's them just outwardly saying their opinion. And it is a normal thing to have opinions, and thereby having to having the ability to take that and to accept it only liberates you. And there are a few instances in my life where I've kind of acknowledged this. And I think the first one that I can explain is something like sexuality and gender expression. I remember learning the difference of sexuality and gender expression in school because I'm not an online person to the point where I know anything about that kind of stuff. But I know that sexuality is your own sexual orientation, and your gender expression is just how you express your gender, or how you express, masculinity or femininity, or the lack of either. And I think the reason why I, as a person, gravitate towards things that are feminine, or things that can that people can consider gay, is because I have so much self-confidence in my own sexual orientation because I'm straight. And I have so much confidence that I am straight to the point that I know that nothing other than me can prove to me that I am straight. And because I have such a strong belief in myself of that, I give myself the freedom to express my gender in any way that I want. Obviously, I'm mostly masculine. I'm not gonna wear heavy makeup or anything like that. I'm not gonna be like a drag queen or anything. But I've given myself the freedom to, enjoy feminine music, wear feminine clothes, do things like have nail polish, have like heavy earrings when I want. And I think that is just not even a thing of bravery, but a thing of just accepting myself. Because I also find it funny when people kind of ask me if I'm gay or think that I am gay, because that means that I'm so confident in my own self that I can just outwardly project whatever I want, because I don't need people telling me what I am, because I'm so self-assured. And another thing, other than that topic, is music and my music taste. And this is another thing that I can connect with people not caring or people judging. Because even though people judge, the reason why I say that they judge for themselves is because they don't care at the same time. And this is a very weird thing to be talking about, how people judge but they don't care. And this is a whole other topic that I haven't thought about. But every on every occasion that I've shown my music taste or I've shared the music that I enjoy with someone, I think I can only name, I can give a percentage, only 10% of the time, or less than that, do they actually kind of enjoy it or are able to see it from my own vision. And that's just because tastes are different. Sure, we know this already. But what I want to focus on is the fact that it's kind of impossible to change someone's mind or to realign someone's opinion with yours, no matter how persuasive you are, especially with something as subjective as music. Knowing that music is a subjective experience, you can't really share subjective experiences with someone in a forceful way. So from my experiences sharing music with people, just because they all don't end the way that I want to, I've kind of just adopted this facade of just not needing to share music at all. So it makes it look like I gatekeep my music, and I think I do just to a certain extent, just because people don't understand it. People don't understand you. They don't understand your interests. Especially, and if they don't understand themselves, they'll just do wrong things that they don't think is wrong. And I think ultimately all this talk that I'm talking about is just it all boils down to self-understanding and becoming so self-assured that you're just confident in anything. And I'm still trying to find that too. I think we all are. Finding the ability to just be yourself and be so fearless about it. And I feel like another thing I don't really believe in is the idea of a guilty pleasure. Because I think that when I realize most of these things that I've talked about, I think that you shouldn't let guilt or let the fear of people knowing that you enjoy something um, tarnish your enjoyment of something. I think that imagine taking all your guilty pleasures and suddenly not being guilty about it. Kind of makes you enjoy it more. And obviously, I've been there. I know there's a certain enjoyment of keeping something secretive, but you can keep your desires or your interests secretive, but you don't have to keep them guilty. You know what I mean? Because those are two different things. Because on one hand, you're keeping it a secret because you don't want people to know. Maybe because it's just so valuable to you. Maybe you're gatekeeping it. But if it's a guilty pleasure and you're guilty about liking it, then that means you have a belief within you that says that you're not supposed to be enjoying this. And maybe it is. Maybe it's an ethically or morally bad thing. But disregarding that, if you're enjoying something that you think you shouldn't be enjoying, just because of a social norm or because of other people's opinions, then you're letting them limit you. You're allowing them to invade your own character and your own personality and interests by them dictating what you want to like and what you want to want, or you want what you want them to see that you like and enjoy. So I think as soon as you kind of remove the guilt and kind of just become unafraid to present what you want, no matter how people are going to think, then first of all, you're kind of taking pride within your own character, and you're taking their hands off of you. You're not conscious about what people think about you, and you just don't care because people don't care anyways. People judge anyways. Either way, no matter what you do, if you take pleasure in the things that are more socially acceptable as to the things that you are guilty about, either way, everyone's going to judge you. There's nothing you can do that won't make someone judge you, I think, especially someone you don't know. So, with that in mind, I think that just completely abolishing the idea of guilty pleasures will benefit you. And I've taken that ideology as well. I don't think there's anything that I'm guilty about enjoying because I think that if I enjoy something openly and outwardly, even keeping it a secret but not being guilty about it, removing all shame, it just makes you enjoy it in a more whole sense, more whole and more pure. Um, because if you really look at it that way, you kind of realize that people are limiting your enjoyment of yourself. People are limiting your experience of the world if you're kind of confining yourself to their opinions. So just being so conscious about what people think and the way that people judge you, it kind of just it cuts you short. And when you confine yourself to that, you're not able to do certain things for yourself, and you become a people pleaser. And I think this topic is something a bit separate from people pleasing, but just the idea that you need validation from other people, or maybe the inverse, you're trying to get yourself interested in a certain thing to get other people's validation. Now that's not even you, that's them, making giving you goals, giving you ideas, and to a certain extent that's not bad. But when it becomes a thing of only wanting to do something because it gives you validation from other people, then you're allowing other people to dictate who you are. And obviously, in a controlled manner, that's fine. Maybe they're doing it positively. But you need this level of self analysis and self understanding that you don't let things slide. You know what your boundaries within yourself are, and you know what other people can never cross because you're so self confident in yourself. And I've just always felt this way. I see people who are guilty about something, especially in music. I see people who are just, because I've been there too, been guilty about the music they listen to because you're afraid people will find it weird. I think it's cool when people talk about weird things that they like. And I really admire someone who is just able to just say, fuck it, I don't care. This is what I enjoy. And if you don't fuck with it, then that's not my problem. Because it really isn't. And I just think that having this idea of I am myself and nothing else dictates what I am because I am myself selfishly and unapologetically and fearlessly is just what you need to do. It's what you need to be. And I myself, I think that I've had this belief because people have told me to to do what I want to do. And I've taken the consequences of that. I've given myself all the time that I need. I've wasted it, learned from my mistakes, and realized what I really want in my life in a way that is not affected by other people. And I think if you take it that far, that's how far you can take it. You can take it so far as to deciding your own future. Just becoming so connected with yourself and detaching from other people and their hold upon you and their how they kind of force you into things. You kind of it feels like you're freeing yourself from chains. Even just beginning with something small is not being guilty about something you like or being expressive with the way that you feel about something. I kind of think that that's the first step into self-discovery and the first step into really feeling at home in your own skin and in your own personality in your own self. And there's more that I can talk about. I don't know if this video gives a lot of value anyways because I feel like what I'm saying is kind of already been said in a bunch of other videos, but I don't know. I just wanted to talk about it because I feel like I haven't. No one of my friends, no one I know has talked about it this way, and I just think that it's something very. It's a vital thing for anyone who wants to just be themselves better, because that's definitely one of the goals in a human life, self discovery and being able to maximize the self. And I think this is just a critical step in that. And I think I will make another video about this because I think that what I don't want what I'm saying to be misconstrued with the idea of being genuine, because I think that's a separate thing, and I think I'll talk about that when I get the time, because it's another thing that I'm really interested in, and it would be a good follow up to this video. So, um, it's a long video today, but at least I got some information out. You know, I don't make these videos that much anymore, but see how it goes getting back into it. I don't know. But yeah, I'll stop talking now, and I'm gonna see you in the next video.